excited. I'm excited for today. Talking with top agents out there across the nation, the challenges that we come across, and the time frames that we have, especially when working with buyers, is every shot we have that they love a home. When we take that shot, how do we make sure that we score a goal and we get that under contract? And there's really 8 areas that it seems like most real estate agents share that is unique to something they believe really allows them to win contracts that they submit. I was talking to an agent this morning, a team out in Texas, and their head buyer's agent, he's got a 90% acceptance rate. And so we were walking through everything that he's doing, and really his style matched these 8 that we talked about. Everybody just has different language, meaning how do I say it might sound different than Kelly says it. The question is, I probably should say it because these are philosophies that are proven not only in psychology, management, leadership, but also sales. And we'll talk about a couple of those today. So Kelly, share with me, what do you do as an intro? So when you're calling a listing agent, you're submitting an offer, what is your intro that you believe, leads to some level of success? And if you've actually never thought about this, you're like, honestly, I probably need a better intro. You can share that, but we know that in sales, in prospecting, in rapport, the way you introduce yourself does matter, right? The way that somebody feels or receives, you're welcoming does matter. So the first of the 8 is the introduction. And so Kelly, what do you tend to do kind of when you're making that call to that listing agent and you're trying to gather this intelligence to figure out what type of offer you're going to make? How do you intro it? How do you start?
Yeah, I usually just tell them name, who I'm with. And, I've probably already shown the house. So
yep.
Go with that. And then I ask them right off. I mean, in today's market, I ask them how many offers they have, pretty much right off the bat, because that's going to dictate where I'm going to take my next questions.
Nice. So Kelly's a little more direct. We're going to get there. It's actually, to me, it's the 3rd step, which would be the confirmation of offers, right? So the first one, though, is the intro. And I was talking to this agent this morning, and he has a different style, right? But, he was sharing that he likes to say is this the famous Jay Riggs? I'm sure a bunch of agents are calling right now about that beautiful. And right away, Jay, I see you smiling. Kelly, I kind of see you shucking your head. This is just the part that I want you guys reflecting on that goes, how do I get that attention, or how do I make this? And for some agents, I know, Michael, you're new, but it sounds like you're confident. You've done a lot of things. If you're direct to, seller, I'm pretty sure your confidence level is not an issue. But, this is where sometimes agents they get in their head and we go, gosh, you know what? I didn't gather the intelligence I really needed to advise my client to continue to keep rapport with them, right? Because we know every offer we lose, if we weren't expecting or telling them, get ready to lose, there's that kind of hope and excitement and then dreams crushed. And unfortunately, we're the one who's responsible for that. So Kelly, I love the fact that you have your intro, like you said, sharing a little bit of what this agent this morning was talking about. I liked his style. And then on here, the script I sent, it's a little bit boring, but it just walks through some of these steps, which is, hey, we'll just use Kelly as an example. Hey, Kelly, this is Justin Martin over at Group 4610. How are you doing today? This agent liked asking the how you're doing today, even though he said people advised him not to, because it's a filler or, I'm busy, kind of like expireds, right? How do you think I'm doing today? My home just expired. But he likes it because it gives him a thought on how the psychology right away of this agent's going to go. How are you doing today? Well, what do you want? You know what I mean? Busy. What can I help you? Now all of a sudden you go, okay, I probably shouldn't maybe be as funny guy as I like to be, or joking, whatever it is, right? So up to you. But one of my goals is that you just get these 8 and you kind of write your script, just like, what? If I had to teach somebody one day, I'm just going to tell them how I do it, but I could give them something that they could kind of act out. And at the end of the day, when things aren't going well, I'm going to go back to something that I have and figure out maybe I need to make a change to it, right? So remember, scripts are more just to make sure that your style can meet a process that leads to high conversion. And anytime your conversion is not high, I just want you to go back to your process. And if you're like, well, honestly, I don't even know what I do, 8 out of 10 times, then it's hard to figure out what actually would be the solution. So the second one after the icebreaker is this agent was talking about, he sells himself, hey, I don't know if you've heard of me, but my name is blank. We sell here in the Dallas area. Just so you know, I sell about 3 homes a month. So you're definitely talking to somebody who really loves what he does. But more importantly, as I'm gathering information today, you can count on me being a professional through this transaction, right? Like whatever you want to share. And the challenges him and I were talking about is that if you're not a top performer, so this one, Michael might be confident, but he's new, right? And I don't know if the wholesaling really goes as great to why I would be a buyer's agent. Kelly, you can easily sell yourself, and hey, you know what? Time and experience doesn't matter, but I know your sellers probably want to work with an expert. Just so you know, I sold 30 homes last year, on pace for about 50 this year. So I love what we do. If we work together, you can count on me being a professional. It's just a quick sell of who you are. They don't know who you are. Give a quick introduction, 5, 6, 10 seconds, make it quick. But how many other people are actually, if you don't know who I am, Kelly, Group 4610, and this is where for Michael, this is the we. Jay, this is like the new agents coming on. Hey, I don't know if you know who I am. My name is Jay Riggs. I work over at Group 4610. Here at Group 4610, we help about 300 families a year buy and sell homes. So you're definitely working with a professional if we had the experience to work together. So this is kind of the sell the we if you're not confident in selling the you. Okay, so that's kind of the second one. It's just a quick introduction of who you are. Confidence is displayed. They start going, okay, I got 50 phone calls. Who's that guy at that place? They sell a lot of homes. Okay, I want to work with them because honestly, never heard of Jay Riggs, and I honestly don't even know what company he works for. So, gosh, you know what? Maybe the rest of the call was better, but the goal is that you're the best in all 8 of these if you can. So it's where you separate yourself from all of it. So the third one was the confirmation of offer. So Kelly, how do you, you know what I mean? Did a good icebreaker, whatever your style is, you know what I mean? How are you doing? Maybe it's just quick small talk there. Maybe it's hey, is this the famous Jay Riggs who has the beautiful listing over on 1255, Court Street? Yes, it is. Man, I'm sure a lot of people are talking about this property because my clients sure are. Well, just so you don't know who I am, my name's Justin Martin. I work over at Group 4610. We serve about 300 families a year, and I'm excited for my clients to hopefully be 301 with this property because I'll tell you, they love it, and I'm a professional. I would love to work with you. So let me ask you, and Kelly, what's your transition? How do you usually start to ask about the confirmation of offers?
Yeah, I ask them, how many offers they have. Are any of them cash? And also ask them, what does the seller need?
Yeah.
Are they looking for a quick close? Do they need a longer close? Is it the highest offer that they're looking for? What it is? So
yeah, and one of the things that I've always enjoyed about you, Kelly, is you're just pretty direct. Just hey, I ask questions. I'm a professional, and this is where you start looking at what we were talking about this morning with this team on their call. Was the reality is it doesn't always go the way you want the script to go. Yes, the goal is I need to figure out what's the best price, what's the best terms. Do they have cash? Is it conventional? How do I get you the best price, the best terms, and then what the heck do I need to put in the provisions? You know what I mean? Based on all the other crazy stuff people are talking about in this market, that's the ultimate goal. But we know that it's not always easy to get that from some agents. Some agents are just super difficult. I can't tell you that. Okay, well, I better get good at acknowledge, respond, pivot. So this script that, is kind of the boring one I sent you guys. This is where after that kind of introduction starts, basically what he has is a question. It's more of a statement, which is great. The home was the perfect size for my family, or great. My clients really love the pool outside. Great. My clients whatever highlighted feature, they believe that, is relatable to property. He says, I'm assuming that it's been a busy day for you. I'm assuming it's been a busy weekend, because then they're going to give you some type of yes or no. Oh yeah. Yeah. We got lots of shit. You know what I mean? And now it makes sense to lead into questions about that. If they go, yeah, right away, you're kind of like, well, that's not normally what I hear every time I ask this question. 8 out of 10 times this market, I hear, oh yeah, man, it's crazy. We got like, and then 2 of the 10 times I hear somebody say, yeah, it's been okay, it's been good. And you're like, okay, I kind of think now through data and doing the same process thousands of times, you're starting to gain some level of specialty because it's an outlier, right? Meaning like this isn't how it usually goes. I do this every time, all the time, the same way. So basically, the confirmation of offers can be presented in many different ways. Kelly had his, this gentleman had his. Hey, I wanted to make sure that, now that my clients love the home who I am, we bring you the best offer possible. So let me ask you, I'm assuming you guys are in a multiple offer position right now. So by asking a little different versus just where you at in price, because you get the subjective, nature of how much people or agents disclose, let's just have some type of question, some pivot question after you acknowledge them, some little response in there that makes sense on why you're asking this question, the pivot, something around the confirmation of offers, just meaning, do you have offers? You could be direct, just say, so I was just calling to find out, do you already have offers in hand? Whatever the question is, but some type of pivot question, you could say, no, I hit number 3. 100% of the time, I know how to go back to my client and let them know what the offer situation looks like, okay? So the confirmation of offers being step 3, step 4 is the range of price in the offer. So Kelly, how have you usually asked the actual price question, or do you?
Yeah, I ask if they've got over asking price,
Nice. So if I'm listening to you, it sounds something just like, okay, knowing that, you have a couple offers, let me ask you, are some of them over list price? Is that kind of your way? Yeah. So just nice and direct. That's not stylistic. Okay. Our tone and body language would be style, but look, just direct question. Are they over list price? So there's many ways to kind of ask those type of questions, and you can also add some value to it. So let's just take your market in general. Right now, on average, how much are homes going over list price, usually in a multiple offer situation? What would you say?
Well, I think it slowed down a little bit. That I would say last fall and summer, it was 50,000, 70,000, 30,000 over asking.
Okay.
But, I think now it's back down to, 5 or 10.
Okay, cool. So you go, hey, $500,000 home. We used to be at 50,000 over. Now maybe it's 5 or 10. That's kind of now how you bring the response into it. Okay, thank you for sharing that with me. I'll let my clients know. Again, like I said, I want to get you the best offer because I know this will be the best experience. Knowing that recently it seemed like the multiple offer situation, homes were getting, 50,000 over, 10% over. How much are you guys over right now? Are we close to that ballpark? So by taking things high and low, you'll find out that people don't know how to answer that. And they unfortunately say something that discloses more than they want. The example, right, that I bring up is, and when you're qualifying a lead, and you say, well, let me ask you, Michael, are you gonna be paying cash or are you gonna need a mortgage? You could ask, how much do you want to put down? You know what I mean? And then, yes, we get into this weird, how much, 3%, but like, perfect. Now I can start moving you over to mortgage talk. You know what I mean? Or we don't need mortgage talk because you're cash, right? Like it's very easy to qualify. So this one, you have the bring that up. Hey, it used to be, 50,000 over list price, but it seems like it's slowing a little bit down. Where are you guys at? Are we close to that 50,000 or is it a little different? Now they start going, oh no, we're nowhere, and you're like, okay, cool. We're nowhere near that. So now I can kind of bring it down to, based off the feedback they gave you. Thanks for sharing that, Kelly. Hey, just make sure that maybe my clients want to win this home so bad, we can get you that much. Is what are you guys? 1%, 2% over? So now go away from the dollars to the percentage, okay? Because then sometimes listing agents, or at least what agents have been telling me, is when you talk about percentage, they don't feel like they're disclosing something that they shouldn't be, i.e. the exact dollar. So if it's like, we got 517 and you go, well, let me ask you, you guys 2 or 3% over. They're like, we're a little bit over 2%. You got your answer. without them directly having to answer. This is also obviously good when you guys know, like talking to people about adjusting value, right? Like we got to lower $25,000 sounds like a lot versus saying, hey, usually we want to adjust the value of the home about 5%, knowing that we're priced above the market. So now 5% sounds better than 25,000. It's just, how do we engage in a better conversation? Jay, I saw you have your hand up. Go ahead.
I'm good right now. Sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
Are you sure?
So keep steaming.
Cool. So fourth one is range of price. Kelly, anything else, or Michael, knowing that you call sellers, anything you guys do to really, and this kind of where, me, I like to say, hey, I'm only going against myself. I want critical feedback. And in my opinion, to advise a person on what offer to make, if they tell me they want to win, they love this home, like this call is one of the most important skill sets that I can have as a buyer's agent to make sure that, gosh, you know what, this listing agent, just like a bad lead, it's just a little cold. I have to be able to acknowledge, respond, and pivot and dig a little deeper and get more out of them. Otherwise, I gotta go back to the person I advise with little intelligence. And that's the one that hurts me. And at least most of the top agents I talk to on why they spend time with this. So Kelly, were you gonna say something?
Yeah, I mean, you can always tell when there's a brand new agent where they're buying or listing because they blurt out the price half the time. So then you know where you're at. You're dealing with somebody brand new.
Yeah.
Usually when they blurt out the price, then you know where you're at. So,
Yeah.
but you can tell whether you're listing or, I've had buying agents say, oh, they ask what my price is, what are my offers? And I'm just like shaking my head, really,
Yeah.
and so, but
Yep,
you can
you're
always
right.
tell, and that helps because then you can negotiate better for your client that way.
Yeah. I think the ones that just blurt out stuff, that's why these scripts are nice. So then that way you don't bring yourself down to the level of new people, right? Like you go,
Right.
okay, shoot. Yeah, no, let me keep going through this stuff. It just made it for an easier call. I didn't have to dig deep. So the fifth one is really digging deeper and confirming price. So we had confirmation of offers, multiple offer situation, no offer situation. Then we had range of price, right? Like, hey, use the market intelligence you have because they probably have it too or don't have it. So now you're talking about numbers. So it makes sense to pivot to a question about, so are we in that ballpark of mania being at 50,000 over, or are we somewhere closer to that list price? Oh yeah, we're much closer. Now you got them kind of going a little bit. Now the last one is dig even a little bit deeper to confirm. Let's just say they were difficult. Like, well, I really can't tell you that, Kelly. Fully understand. Appreciate you being ethical for all of us. Knowing that you can't disclose exact price. I just know the market. That was 10% over. I mean, are you guys at least about 2 or 3% over list price on the offers right now? Oh yeah. You know what I mean? Like it's almost like they don't want to say their statement again because you were too good. Yeah, we're around there, Kelly. You know what I mean? I didn't feel like I said anything, but I gave you something. Okay, so now at least I can go back to my client and say, hey, here's the deal. They're at least about 2 or 3% over. So if this is a love home can't lose, we got to talk some different numbers. If this is I really want to be competitive, I got my range now. So now you want to confirm it. All right, Kelly, hey, I know you didn't want to tell people the exact number, but I appreciate confirming so I can get you, seller, the best offer possible. And again, we all work on referrals. So I want to make sure we get you the best offer. We close on this home. I told you I'm a professional. So let me just confirm. I know that you guys have multiple offers, so we're not at list. You said that, hey, you know what? There's a ballpark. So if my client came in over 3%, we would be in that ballpark of above the current offers you got? Yes. I can't tell you that again, Jay. Doesn't matter. It's just 8 out of 10 times they're going to break. Okay. If you do well at this, yeah, you guys would be in that ballpark. Okay, awesome. So now you get to the last 3 parts of this, which is proven management methods of incentivizing people to do things. You guys have heard of the carrot principle, correct? If I, then I, right? If you do this, then you get that, right? Psychology, sales, many things, right? So the last 3 are if I did, is it worth the time? So what I mean by this is, let's just say they were a little difficult on the pricing, right, Kelly? Like, yeah, you'd be kind of around there. Okay, so Jay, if my client submitted an offer at 4% over price. Would that be worth our time? And should I submit that? Do you see how now this is almost like a trick question to where they're letting you know their thoughts on what you should do? And why this is proven is because if they're over that price, he's going to tell you that's probably not worth your time. You know what I mean? Like that part. Why? Because I don't want another review. I don't have to talk to my client. Honestly, I don't want to deal with you. You're not even in the ballpark of the next person that I'm trying to get there. So Kelly, let me just ask you based on everything you said, thanks for your time today. So if I was able to get my client, okay, to submit an offer right about 525, would that be worth our time? Yes,
Yes.
definitely would. Okay. And so if I can get them to do that, what else are they looking for in the contract within terms and or anything in the provisions that would add strength to their situation? So then now we're kind of closed. You know what I mean? You can kind of see this, boring script has, something. Well, okay, I think I have everything I need, Kelly. Let me ask, do you have any questions for me? Now,
No.
that's almost the change of psychology on the roles, right? Meaning like you're the buyer's agent. Why are you asking me if I have questions for you? It's almost the switch of professional, all right, relationship in this, which is just saying, hey, Jay, you know what? Thank you. Okay, gotcha. So 525, and quick close, a little bit of appraisal gap. All right, well, I think I have everything to talk to my client to get you the highest and best offer. Let me ask you, have any questions for me? Most likely they're going to say what? No. And this is the last one, okay? So now, after the if I can, what else? This is the if they will you, okay? So you got if I did, if I can. This is all me. Okay, hypothetically, if they did, you know what I mean? Would that be worth our time? Okay, if I can get, I'm not telling you I can get them there yet, right? So this is kind of this like if then psychology versus you disclosing up front, we're going to do it. So it's kind of like, well, where's the value in that? You already played your cards. You know what I mean? You're either bluffing or you have the full house. So this is the, okay, thank you then. Here's the thing, Michael. If I can get them, if they will do this and they will offer 5% over these terms, this, knowing that that's going to be the best offer that you guys have, they would like an acceptance by tonight at 7 p.m. Now we get to get into the conversation or the objection right now versus what's the right thing to do for your client. But the truth of the matter is just, and it sounds like, Kelly, the market's going to get worse a little bit, meaning there's less inventory and even more demand coming out, right? Especially with preparation for April. Is the truth is if we wait till Tuesday, yes, potentially by this phone call, okay, you being a pro, and you'll see on that script that you guys have that attached, it says at the end, when they say, no, we can't do that. We won't do that. They're waiting till Tuesday. He kind of has a statement there. It's like, okay, Kelly, thank you. We all work on referrals. I just want to make sure everybody's having a great experience. My client loves this home. I'm sure you're like me. If we come in and we're the highest offer and we got you the best price, can you at least let me know that if I get them to do this, we can be the first right to counter? And now if they give you a verbal first right to counter, I know I maybe got a shot, you know what I mean? On Tuesday, I've at least taken it back to my client and saying, all right, Kelly, this is why you work with me. I got you there. Now, here's the deal. I don't know if you're going to be willing to meet their terms, but they are willing to work with us because they don't have cash that's willing to do it. They don't have this. We are good. We're conventional. We got appraisal gap. We've got highest price. Well, actually, it's third highest price now that Tuesday came, but they like me. They like the lender. They like the relationship. So all we got to do is up appraisal gap by 15 grand more and come in about 20K higher. But the nice part is, if every time you position your client to say no, then we didn't lose, right? We only lose when they're saying yes and hoping. And then when it comes back and says, hey, it's not you, it's me. We went with somebody else. That feels like a loss, right? We weren't the chosen one. So hopefully this helps just in structuring your guys's, you know what? I think I got a great listing call script. I already used to do it, but honestly, I'll take these 8 things and see, I think that last one will help me. If they will do that, then I'm pretty sure they're going to want a response by 7 p.m., right? If I can do that, let me ask you, can you at least guarantee me that you'll get this offer in front of your client before 6 p.m. tonight to review? Now that's different than acceptance, right? So Kelly, you remember Mimi talking about that first entry, first offer strategy?
Mhm.
Do you remember that at all?
Yes.
Yeah. So this is
Yeah,
where,
a little bit.
yeah, let's just say they say, you know what? I don't think we're going to be able to get you an acceptance tonight. Okay. I'll let my clients know, respect the fact you guys want to wait till Tuesday. However, if I do get them to come in this big, to at least be a courtesy to them, can you at least guarantee you'll get this offer in front of them that they can review it and see it? Because they may want to put some incentives in there that they want them to have. Sure. So as long as I guarantee it's going to go, then you can do the incentive clause, right? The incentive clause was in the additional provisions where you say something like, you do the deadlines for what the agent asked, right? Tuesday, whatever, you know what I mean? But then the incentive clause, you add the part that says, in the event seller accepts offer by 6 p.m. on January 13th, buyer agrees to amend purchase price to, and maybe throw in 10K more. You know what I mean? Knowing like, hey, let's do this because time is of the essence, not really anything else right now in this market. Just look, we got to get contracted. We wait 3 more days, they're going to have 5 more offers. And then just truth of the matter is, it's going to get ugly. Probably much more uglier than 2%, Kelly. So you see how like, okay, 500,000, 10K more. It's really not 10K more. It's only 2% more. That's all. Just we're just gonna give them 2% more to get it now versus, you know what I mean? Probably having to spend 10% more, 30,000 more if we wait till Tuesday. So this is kind of where the good call leads to a great close, right? That's kind of the hope is got to close here that if we do this, you're also going to do something else. So questions or thoughts or comments or anything, because that's really, just wanted to review that piece as it sounds like that's what a lot of us are getting into the relevant challenging market right now.
Yeah, I like that last part a lot.
Cool.
So,
Yeah.
The other thing I do is I always find out from the selling agent what the seller situation is.
Yeah.
I've won a lot of contracts just on the love story from my clients, because then they can relate, whether it be like a cancer patient or
Totally.
I had one kid, the father's, the kid was in a wheelchair and he was also military. So they both connected, and they gave it to us over the other ones. So,
yeah,
you never know until you find out what the seller situation is, sometimes it's not about money.
Yeah. You know what? And right away, I'm looking at my eight questions here. So I would just move my number 7, the if I can, what else matters to them, right? So, and the if I can is where you're kind of promising big, right? Like you got a confirmation of offers or range. So you're trying to be like, well, if I can get them to come in 10K higher, than your highest, tell me more about their situation and what matters, right? So Kelly, that's where I would just add yours right there is number 7. Okay, if I can, now we're off price. Now tell me more about their situation, what they're going through, what matters to them. So that way I can see if my buyers are willing to accommodate the other parts I'm sure are why they're selling. Now all of a sudden they tell you, oh, well, you know what, they're battling this, they're doing that. 100%, I agree. So actually I like this just as I'm trying to put all this in a 30-minute, power half hour for us. That's actually, if I can, tell me more about the situation is better than what else, right?
Or even in today's market, a lease back of 30 to 60
Yep.
days to find the next house. So
yeah, and that's the
For the
price,
seller.
terms, provisions, right? So what else matters in the provisions, lease back, appraisal gap, inspection, those type of things. Cool.
Yep.
Michael, anything on your end, my friend?
Yeah, no, exactly. Kind of the same thing, Kelly was saying. It's probably around like step 3 because I was on a team for about 3 months and they did a lot of their business. They kind of mastered wholesaling off the MLS. They kind of knew how to do keyword searches and stuff. They knew how to find properties that were already listed at a good price and they could kind of reverse engineer and try to get the price they needed for the investors. And it was just the same thing, just calling out to the, and look, you guys know this better than me, but a lot of these listed agents, they've got these walls up. They're not going to give you a lot of information. So you're just trying to dig stuff out of them. And, but yeah, we would just try to, build rapport, go through our opening and everything, and then find out, what we can do to separate our offer from the, the competition. And then we would really just try to sell our buyer, in this case, they're pre-qualified and everything. And then we would represent investors. So we would just make sure to stress that, they are legit and buyers. They're not looking to wholesale the property or anything like that. And so it was a little bit of building rapport, and then also selling, our buyers as well. But I think a big thing, like I said, Kelly alluded to, is just trying to find out the seller's motivation and pull at those heartstrings a little bit, and just see if there's just another way to build rapport, and just see if there's any way you can separate yourself from, especially nowadays, from the 10 other offers they're probably looking at anyway.
Yeah. Let me know if you guys come up with any strategies on that, as you're both just saying, hey, and what is that ARP that you're using, so you acknowledge the last statement question, and now you're going to kind of go into this, what response or value are you seeing that's piquing the level of interest for listing agents? Because the challenge obviously is we got to get the listing agent to share with us the situation. And that's the hard part. So how are you kind of getting them to do that? That'll be a fun follow-up one. I'll make sure to ask here over the next couple of calls. Let me know how you guys are experiencing that as you're out there with your buyers. So Jay, anything on your end, my friend?